Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another top-quality quarantine baking video. But luckily for you, this is actually a special edition chemistry assignment cooking video. So without further ado, let's get right into Operation How to Make Some Delicious Mousse as a last-minute sort of thing for your chemistry class. But before we get to whipping these eggs into shape, let's wash off our Manus metacarpus from a minimum length of Fear Transmission 2 Trust, because the last thing we would want is this delicious mousse getting somebody infected.
The rebels claim that a brave new world is upon us. Do not be fooled by the chicanery with which they lay their claim. It is false, and their uprising will not succeed. You will place your trust in fear. You must.
The first step to this pretty easy process is assembling the utensils and instruments of chocolate and egg whippage. You'll probably want some measuring spoons, some actual spoons, a measuring cup, a scale, a metal bowl, 2 small saucepans, an egg beater, a fridge, and if you have a stove, that definitely tends to help. Next, go ahead and grab all the ingredients. First, you're going to want to snatch 3 big eggs, then 1 tablespoon of some butter that is unsalted, 1/4 cup of sugar, and then 8 ounces of chocolate. As a side note, make sure you have the right amount of this delicious semi-sweet chocolate by grabbing a bowl, a scale, and of course a bag of chocolate. Slap the bowl on the scale, tear that bad boy, then pour in the right amount of chocolate. After measuring out all of those ingredients, if you happen to have lovely chocolate chunks like myself, you may want to remove the gourd from the cutting board and get to making those chunks a bit less chunky. Once you've done that, put a little water in one of your saucepans and then slap your metal bowl with exactly 8 ounces of chocolate chunky bits onto said saucepan, and then slap the saucepan bowl combo, which is called a double broiler, onto the stove, where you will stir and melt the chocolate for around 3 to 5 minutes. If you didn't know, chocolate melts quickly because it contains cocoa butter. Cocoa butter is composed of fats from the cocoa bean. Fat structures like these are often very soft and change easily with heat. This is why milk chocolate, which has a higher concentration of fat than dark chocolate, melts quicker. Once that 1/12 of an hour has elapsed, grab that bowl again, dice up your butter, and crack some eggs. Don't crack the eggs right into the chocolate because first you're going to want to separate them and only use the yolks in the chocolate. Stir the butter in slowly, and then add the eggs one at a time. Once all of that is mixed up, put it back on the saucepan and keep mixing, because we want that egg yolk to be fully cooked and incorporated into the chocolate mix. Then make some simple syrup by plopping the sugar and about 1/2 cup of water into the other saucepan and heating it up so the sugar can fully dissolve into the water. While the simple syrup starts, go ahead and grab your egg whites and your egg beater. And you guessed it, beat the crap out of those eggs. You're going to want to beat them until they form stiff peaks. The reason you get stiff peaks when you're whipping egg whites is because egg whites are made of 1/10 protein and 9/10 water. When you beat the eggs, the proteins unravel, revealing hydrophilic and hydrophobic amino acids. As you beat the eggs, you're ripping bubbles into them, and the water and protein start fighting for space. The water is attracted to other water and the hydrophilic amino acids, but repelled by the hydrophobic. The bubbles become covered with hydrophobic protein films, which create stiff peaks that don't change shape when you take them out of the bowl and flip them upside down. And once the syrup is done, you can go ahead and slowly pour it into the egg whites while you keep mixing them. Once the simple syrup and the eggs are all good to go ahead and slowly start folding the egg whites into the chocolatey bowl. And once it is all folded in, put a plate or some saran wrap over the bowl, make some room in the fridge, and then make the most of that room and let your mousse cool off for at least 1.5 hours, so it can set completely. This hour and a half is an opportune time to clean up the mess you've undoubtedly made in the kitchen and give that gourd a nice pat. Once again, thank you for watching Mr. Northworthless. I would be ever grateful if you were to slap that like and subscribe button, and I hope you have an excellent evening.